America used to build ships fast enough to shape the world. So how did we end up struggling to build the fleet we say we need?
America once built ships fast. Today the yards are fewer, slower, and far more strained. Navy shipbuilding is still over budget, behind schedule, and in some cases years late. Now Washington is turning to allies to help revive American shipbuilding capacity.
This isn't just a story about ship. It's a story about dry docks, welders, and whether America still remembers how.
The Navy wants 1 Columbia and 2 Virginias a year. Industry is struggling to keep up. One of the biggest bottlenecks is labor. Too few skilled workers and too much attrition.
Hold it tight on the corner. Let the rod do the work.
The plan: use Allied capacity now, while rebuilding the ability to build more at home.
If allies help America rebuild its yards, that could be a lifeline. But it also raises the question at the center of this story.
Modern ships are built in blocks, then stitched together like floating industrial cities. A shipyard is only as fast as its slowest supplier. Even America's reserve sea-lift ships are old, more than 45 years on average.
When people hear shipbuilding, they imagine steel. But the real fight is precision. Pipes, shafts.
The best yards don't just weld faster, they design, sequence, and track every step better. This is the benchmark. Giant Asian yards building at a scale the US no longer matches. That's why Allied capital is moving into US yards like Philadelphia. For the first time, a major US Navy supply ship overhaul was done in South Korea. But no foreign investment fixes this overnight. The hardest part is still people. So the question isn't just whether America can build ships. It's whether it can rebuild an entire ecosystem. In shipbuilding, small delays stack into years. One late part can stall an entire hull. Some shipyard infrastructure is older than the sailors it serves.
Here's the real problem. America doesn't just need more ships. It needs more places to build them, more people to finish them.
Right here, this is your primary null structure. It's critical for distributing the load forces correctly.
See this line here? You want to maintain that consistent travel speed right through the joint. Don't rush it.
And the backup fleet America depends on is aging fast.
Attention workers, shift change procedures are now in effect.
The bet is simple: foreign capital, American rebuilding.
We're already behind schedule on the expansion phase.
The penalties will bankrupt us if we don't find a solution now.
Ships are delayed long before they touch water. The schedule slips, then the budget follows. Even brand new programs can start behind.
What makes shipbuilding brutal is that everything depends on everything else. You can't install systems on time if the weren't brighter.
America's problem isn't just naval shipbuilding, it's maritime capacity, period. The backup fleet is old and time is not on its side.
Copy that. Maintain current heading toward hull 1045. Awaiting confirmation.
But you can't import a workforce overnight. Shipbuilding knowledge is handed down, not downloaded. And that's where this story turns. The Navy's plans are expensive even before delays hit. Building ships is hard, repairing them late is worse.
For decades, America let this ecosystem shrink. Fewer commercial orders meant fewer suppliers.
Shipyards can't stay world-class without steady work. Meanwhile, Asia kept building and learning. So Washington is buying time with allies.
Did they sign off on the revised plating?
Not yet. We need to get CO approval first.
Philadelphia has become a test case. And that leads to the uncomfortable twist.
Here's the twist. To rebuild American shipbuilding, America may first have to admit it can't do it alone.
The US built just 0.04% of global ship output in 2024. Some Allied yards now operate on a scale America no longer matches. That dependence is no longer theoretical. It's already operational.
That means the comeback story is messier than it sounds. This isn't a clean return to the past.
Philadelphia is the proof of concept for that gamble. For some workers, revival feels hopeful. For others, it feels like surrender. America needs ships now. Rebuilding capacity takes years. That is the central contradiction driving this entire story.
So the real question is no longer whether America can no longer.
A shipyard comeback starts with apprentices. These are skills built slowly by repetition. Shipbuilding needs machinists, pipe fitters, electricians, and planners.
Rebuilding shipbuilding doesn't mean copying the 19th. It means building smarter yards.
The best shipyards run like factories, not improvisations.
Priority sequence initiated on Block 7. Verify status.
Yards move only as fast as their small suppliers. This rebuild also depends on policy and steady money.
And none of this matters if the work doesn't keep coming.
Shipyards don't stay healthy on speeches. They stay healthy on orders.
Without steady demand, every rebound risks fading again. The hardest work often happens out of sight. A missing part can idle an entire crew.
The romantic version of this story is that America just decides to build again. The real version is slower, more frustrating, and a lot more expensive.
Most trade still moves by sea, whether Americans notice or not. And America's reserve fleet is aging out. So the bridge strategy is simple. Buy time, then rebuild. Philadelphia is where that theory meets reality. But no capital plan works without people staying.
That's the part people miss. You can finance a dock, you can import equipment, you can even borrow expertise, but you cannot fake industrial culture.
And that's what the next chapter depends on. Recovery starts when old infrastructure finally gets rebuilt.
Make sure that line holds.
On it.
It continues when knowledge gets passed down before it disappears. And it scales only when small suppliers can grow with the yards.
Something bigger. A country that can still coordinate steel, labor, logistics, and time at scale.
That would change trade, repair, and military readiness together. If it fails, decline won't look dramatic. It'll look quiet. Older ships would stay in service longer and risk more breakdowns.
We need to secure this sector immediately. Resources move in from the docks here.
For years, America treated shipbuilding like a specialty industry. But it's really a test of whether a modern nation...
And now the ending depends on time. Real recovery would look like this. More ships leaving American yards on time. It would sound like skills being passed on before they vanish. It would mean suppliers growing strong enough to stop being the bottleneck.
Sector 4 is clear.
Affirmative. Engaging pumps now.
And if that happens, this story stops being about decline. It becomes a story about a country that remembered something important.
If it fails, the silence will arrive first. Then the country keeps leaning on older ships and borrowed capacity. The bridge only matters if it leads somewhere.
Shipbuilding matters because it reveals something bigger than ships. It tells you whether a nation can still organize people, materials, and patience.
Maybe that's the real question here. Not whether America can relearn how to build ships, but whether it still has the patience to rebuild the world behind them.
A real comeback would feel ordinary again. It would look like fewer red lines on the schedule. And it would mean suppliers finally shipping on time.
Success here wouldn't be dramatic every day. It would be repetitive, disciplined, almost boring. The way...
That's why places like Philadelphia matter so much.
All right, look at the structural reinforcement here on deck 4.
Copy that. We need to adjust the placement before the next shift.
The point is to replace aging dependence with new capacity. And it starts one trained worker at a time.
What's at stake here isn't nostalgia. It's whether the United States can still sustain unglamorous machinery of...
A healthy yard is really a healthy ecosystem in motion. And sometimes the payoff is simply a ship entering the water.
It proves it when the yards stay busy, the skills stay alive, and the ships keep coming.